Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, March 18th, 2016. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Almost 1 month after this country recorded its first confirmed case of the Zika virus on February 23, 2016, health officials have outlined that there has been no other reported case of the virus. In an interview held earlier today, epidemiologist Dr. Rosmond noted that even with no other confirmed cases, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment remains vigilant with heightened laboratory and clinical surveillance. Dr. Adams mentioned that there were suspected cases of the virus where samples were taken from persons and sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CAFA, all of which came back negative.
We know that we have done tremendous work in terms of heightening laboratory and clinical surveillance with an aim to contain the spread of the Zika virus. To date, we have not confirmed any other cases. Physicians have suspected cases and they have taken samples, and all of the samples for all suspected cases have been sent off to CAFA, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, for testing. We have so far sent off 33 samples to CAFA, and all of the samples have returned negative. This is saying that there are some possibilities happening here, that one, we may have done well in containing the further spread of this virus, or that the virus is presenting in an asymptomatic way, as we know that Zika can be asymptomatic.
Adams outlined that active and collaborative work continues with other stakeholders in tackling the Aedes aegypti mosquito population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, along with community awareness sessions and cleanup initiatives.
So all in all, I think that we have been doing a good job at tackling the Zika virus in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We continue to be vigilant. Our vector control team have done a lot of work in terms of fogging and source reduction, inspection of properties. Our health promotion team also did a lot of work in terms of sensitization, educational sessions, and there have been massive cleanup campaigns throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the community level, where people have been made aware of the importance of getting rid of containers, drums, tires, and all other stuff that can accumulate water and lead to the breeding of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Admitting that there are persons who may experience symptoms of the virus and refuse to seek medical attention, Dr. Adams made an appeal for persons to be more responsible when it comes to their health.
If you present with signs and symptoms, headache, nausea, joint pain, red eye, conjunctivitis, muscle ache, and fatigue, etc., and you think that you're sick, then you should visit your healthcare provider, who will then examine you and treat you accordingly. We know that with the Zika virus, that it can go asymptomatic. People may not have signs and symptoms. If it's asymptomatic, then therefore there's no need to consult a healthcare worker, because you don't feel sick. But once you start having signs and symptoms and you think that you may be infected or that you're sick, it is good to go to your healthcare provider, who will then offer you further advice. And by so doing, we're able to test, because we need to be able to test and to know if you're infected, so that we are able to see the epidemiological trend, if there are more cases, if there are no more cases that are occurring in the country. And this helps us to put measures in place. It helps us to craft our response mechanism towards Zika and other diseases.
In an effort to enhance tsunami preparedness throughout the Caribbean, the National Emergency Management Organization NEMO joined with other agencies in the region to participate in the Caribbean Tsunami Warning Exercise, Carib Wave. The event saw participation from a number of key stakeholders, some of whom got the opportunity to practice standard operating procedures for their response to a tsunami, along with the testing of the radio data system. SVG-TV's Nikita Tony has more in this report.
Scientists have predicted that the Caribbean could be at risk from for a mega tsunami, which could devastate coastlines from as far as Brazil in South America right up to Florida in the USA. With this in mind, the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, has joined with other regional disaster management organizations to participate in the Caribbean Tsunami Warning Exercise Carib Wave earlier this week. Noting that the Caribbean region does not yet have a tsunami warning center, Director of NEMO, Howie said that the Carib Wave initiative aims to guide first responders and other stakeholders on a greater part of tsunami preparedness.
We're working together to begin to test what we have as far as tsunami plans are concerned. Here in St. Vincent and Grenadines, we have developed some guidelines. We can't boast yet that we have an airtight plan, but we've worked with some communities in getting them tsunami ready. And at some point or the other, we hope to be able to make sure that that plan becomes a national entity.
Prince emphasized the need for the tourism stakeholders to be fully involved in the process, as the industry stands the biggest threat in the event of a tsunami.
Entities like the tourism sector must be ready, because if the tourism sector is not ready to face storm surge and tsunamis and things of that sort, then things are bad. It therefore stands to reason that even if we cannot say we are at the juncture yet where the entire country has that document, we can say that the critical sectors, such as tourism and others, and other ancillary sectors, they all have the relevant information to put together plans that can make their people and their businesses ready to face some of these possibilities.
Making reference to a crisis communication plan and disaster guidelines prepared by NEMO by the Ministry of Tourism, Prince noted that persons must be active in implementing the instruments, as a plan is only as good as the people behind it.
Any plan that you've written for disaster management and disaster response that is not in the mind and in the psyche of people who are supposed to exercise that plan, the plan is a useless document. So today we have been given a very good opportunity to begin the process of orientation to that plan, and in some cases testing some of the standard operational procedures that are written in that plan.
The director further expressed his hopes in the participants gaining a greater understanding and appreciation for disaster preparedness, as he reminded persons that they must expect the unexpected.
Making sure that the tourism sector sit around the table and that you're involved not in a paper exercise only, but in really thinking through these things. Some of the exercises will look so real, will sound so real, that we've seen people in exercise situations pull their hair out and cry. Because when it dawned on you that this thing really can happen, when you really come to the realization that it ain't happened yet, but it feels like it's happening, then you begin to get a better sense of you don't want to be caught unprepared for something as bad as a tsunami.
Although there is yet to be a tsunami watch or warning issued for the Caribbean, the National Emergency Management Organization urges everyone to be prepared. Reporting for SVG-TV News, I am Nikita Tony.
This country has over the past week strengthened its diplomatic relations with 3 of its long-standing allies. This is newly appointed non-resident ambassadors from the Kingdom of the Netherlands, United States of America, and the Republic of Nicaragua presented letters of credence to Governor General His Excellency Sir Frederick Ballantyne at Government House. His Excellency Jules Beagle, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, presented his credentials on Tuesday, March 8, 2016. Her Excellency Linda Tagliatella, Ambassador of the United States of America, presented on Wednesday, March 9th, and His Excellency Valdrick Ludwig Jansik, Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs with responsibility for the Caribbean of Nicaragua, presented his letter of credence on Tuesday, March 15, 2016. SVG established diplomatic relations with the United States of America on October 27, 1979. The Kingdom of the Netherlands on April 8, 1981, and the Republic of Nicaragua on June 28, 1999. Over the years, this country has engaged in mutually beneficial partnerships with all three countries that have promoted economic development. Former student of the Girls High School and mentor Heather Marshall is encouraging the school's young leaders to lead by example. Marshall was at the time addressing the students at the launch of their Big Sister program. She outlined that students are today facing many challenges, such as the pressure to fit in, and those who can help need to give them their support.
Growing up is never easy, and that's why having a mentor is so beneficial, as it helps mentees to deal with the ups and downs of life. Today, students face many challenges, many challenges that we face when we were students back then. Some of these challenges include problems with schoolwork, pressure to fit in different ways, engaging in behaviors that are not very wholesome, body image issues, etc. The program like yours can provide positive influences for younger students who need a little extra attention or do not have the best support system available to them. You have leaders are in a unique position where, because of your youth, you can easily identify with, and in some instances, you have overcome challenges faced by your younger sisters.
Commending the students on their initiative to help the second formers, Principal of the Girls High School, Andrea Bowman, says, although the students in the Kids Sisters program may be doing well scholastically, they still may need someone to just listen or be their cheerleader.
Academic performance, high self-esteem, high self-gift. Even though they have all of those positives, there may still be need for a Big Sister program. There may still be need for guidance because we could be achieving well in certain areas and in other areas around. So this is why I think your program is well conceived, well timed, and totally necessary, and you very, very well at it. Okay? Give of your best, and you will get the best, but remember you will learn more than anything else you're going to learn from this project.
President of the GHS Young Leaders, Mika Williams, says the goal of their group is to help others academically, socially, and personally.
These individuals were selected to be molded into the future of our society and possibly a young leader. How are they to succeed in life and contribute to the development of our society without the proper guidance and nurturing? Nevertheless, it is because of this that we seek to tackle this aspect in our projects, as well as bring awareness to the nation that youth mentoring is available. The mentoring program has several approaches, which includes school-based, in which the mentor meets with the youth in an academic setting and facilitates schoolwork while acting as a supportive role model. 2, community-based. In this setting, a mentor meets the youth in the community, such as a church, community facility, or by taking a child to community events. And 3, individually, or a one-on-one setting where the mentor repeatedly meets with the same mentee for the duration of the program.
Continuing its commitment to sensitize taxpayers on their rights and obligations, the Inland Revenue Department today held an exhibition under its gallery in capital Kingstown. Controller of the Inland Revenue Department, Kelvin Pompey, told SVG-TV News that the exhibition gives his department a good opportunity to educate and interact with the public.
Using this opportunity to update and to inform our taxpayers about these changes. I mean, our aim is to educate and to sensitize, to let taxpayers know about their rights, their obligations, and how they can comply. We are also taking the opportunity once more to let persons know about our e-filing system and its ability to assist them in getting their returns filing much more efficiently and to get their refunds and so payable at a much faster time. We have had an excellent, I think, input from the general public. Persons are coming very much interested in learning and getting to know what we are doing. And this is something that we think is really bearing a lot of significant fruit to the department in terms of increased compliance from taxpayers.
Pompey is also reminding the general public that March 31st is the deadline for the filing of income tax and is encouraging persons to file their returns to avoid additional fees.
The 31st of March is the last date for filing income tax returns. For companies with a December year end, it is also the deadline. And for all self-employed persons and unincorporated businesses, they are due to file their tax return for 2015 by the 31st of March. In addition, persons with last digit 3 on their motor vehicle license and driver's license with a birthday of March, they are also due to file return. And so we expect over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, that we are going to have increased activity as persons come in to file their returns. And we want to ensure that persons get the message that they should not be late, because once you file after the 31st of March, there is interest and penalty charges that would be added onto amounts outstanding.
Though Chief Magistrate Ration Brong has been sending strong messages to persons who have committed or intend to commit acts of domestic violence that they will be sent to prison, Alexis Brong, a resident of Town Hill, this week counted his lucky stars when he was ordered to pay compensation of $625 on 2 separate charges of assault causing actual bodily harm and damage to property on Ruth Charles of French's on March 12, 2016. This with the intervention by lawyers Grant Connell and Ronald Marks, who stood to their feet and indicated to the magistrate that having heard the evidence, Brong accepted full responsibility for his action and has shown remorse, and that he has thrown himself to the feet of justice and has asked for leniency. Both counsels went on to request of the magistrate not to impose a custodial sentence, as she has been doing in recent times for such offences. As a result, Brong was ordered to pay compensation to Charles for his action. He was also bonded to keep the peace for a period of 6 months in the sum of $600. If he defaults, the sum becomes payable immediately, or a term of imprisonment will be imposed. Brong's charges stemmed from an incident which occurred on the date in question at the home of Charles following a fracas between 2 minors, during which time Charles intervened to stop the minors from getting into an altercation. It was during such time Brong approached Charles and inflicted blows to Charles's body with his hand, resulting in injuries. Students from 4 secondary schools here were given the opportunity to attend a career fair hosted by the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, the CWSA. This is an annual event offering students the chance to witness presentations from several booths set up to expose the different job opportunities that are available within the company. CWSA's Public Relations Manager, Joan Ryan, says the company is pleased to recommence its Water Week of activities under the theme Water and Jobs. She says that these activities in the form of informational sessions and discussions are aimed mainly at the youth to get them to be a part of managing the environment.
And our focus usually is on the youth. So we have our schools program. Not only do we invite the secondary schools to come in, but we also go out to the communities, to the primary schools, and we have talks on water conservation and on solid waste management with our primary schools throughout our country. So these sessions are really very meaningful to us as we seek to educate our young people about how they can become involved in environmental management in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
A benefit concert to raise money for kidney patients here will be held on Sunday evening at the Russell's Auditorium, featuring performances by a number of local gospel artists. Chairman of the concert committee, Fidel Taylor, says kidney disease is a very serious issue and urges Vincentians to come out and support the event, as the money raised will help patients in need of assistance.
The concert is about raising much needed funds to assist the kidney patients of St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are battling the dreaded and deadly kidney disease. The gospel artists of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Vincentians who care decide to come on board, partner with the Kidney Foundation to help start the process of raising much needed money to help our brothers and sisters. It's going to be very exciting, entertaining, rewarding, spiritually rewarding. The kidney problem is serious. It's deadly, as I mentioned, and the folks who are suffering, there are about 11, 12 persons on the island whose funds have been depleted. Some have insurance, but still they are struggling to face the medical bills. Although accessing dialysis is readily available in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the cost is significant to them. And if they don't get kidney dialysis treatment, they will die.
Taylor says the concert will be broadcast live on radio, and persons who cannot attend will be given the opportunity to make a pledge. Further encouraging donations, committee member Jonathan Nicholls says persons attending the concert will be thoroughly entertained while being a blessing to someone.
This effort really is just going to be a drop in the bucket, but every little helps. And we are asking all business persons, individual, it doesn't matter. Once you can make a contribution, even if you cannot make it, make that contribution. We will ensure that this money is put to good use. It is to benefit all patients, all persons who are suffering with kidney problems and who are in need of this treatment. So while you're contributing, you will be getting back something. You will be getting a blessing. It's a double blessing. You know, the blessing of assisting and also being there to hear these top artists, you know, sing about the love of God, and they will entertain you in a way that you will feel satisfied that it's money well spent.